kind of muscles you have? No. Bro, what kind of patterns you have? Or is it just aesthetics?
Hello everybody, welcome back to training every single day. Hopefully you had a good day. Hopefully you took some time out to move and improve. It doesn't always have to be, 1 hour blocks. I break up my workouts throughout the day. I normally only spend, like a minute or so at a time working on some movements, but I like to train very intensely. You need a certain amount of intensity to make some sort of adaptations. It depends what kind of adaptations, of course, you're looking for. If you're looking for more endurance adaptations, you are inherently going to have to spend more time. But I mainly try to focus on building mobility, strength, fluidity, grace of movement, and coordination, which doesn't really require more than, very intense 30 seconds at a time. So I like to think of it more like, taking a snack, eating meals throughout the day, instead of just eating at a buffet for, 1 hour a day, 4 times a week. Anyways, I get into a lot of training outside, a lot of training barefoot. There's a lot of benefits to that. And really try out this diagonal stretch. There was a really good, this is a pretty good stretch that's really been popularized by movement culture. Ido Portal, Roy Gold, those kind of guys are some of the greats out there, and they give me a lot of inspiration. Hopefully I inspire you to move and improve. Leave a like if you are moving, because moving is improving. There is, I like to think of there's some basic movements that people should be doing. There should be the spinal movements, just getting your spine moving throughout the day. Just being able to move your spine on its own is a really great ability. And then squatting, hanging, a resting squat, and a passive hang are very important. This is another kind of movement that I think complements the diagonal stretch pretty well, the single-legged deadlift. Doing it at all sorts of different angles, all sorts of different tempos. I'm not able to do different tempos yet. I'm kind of stuck at this one, but I am, really enjoying the diagonal stretch in superset with the deadlifts. Ido Portal gave a really good video called Developing Legs Practice, and this was the main concept, doing these diagonal stretches, sissy squats, and the single-legged deadlifts in order to really develop and put a lot of tension through the legs. It's a very mobility-focused one and requires a lot of technique. But if your technique was a lot better, like I'm trying to do, you could definitely train it in a way to develop strength and hypertrophy. But you need to have very, very good technique, which I think is a good thing. To really focus on having very good technique, very good balance first, before you really start trying to develop really huge muscles and lots of strength that you might not necessarily be able to handle that level of strength. A lot of people get injured, and strength can be a good way to prevent injury, but I like to think of it in its own kind of way, where you try to develop all the joints to be, able to handle strength at a full range of motion at different speeds. Most injuries happen at a very quick speed, at like an impact level, and not really at like a strength demand. While more strength might protect your joints somewhat, I think you really need to predict kind of a very heavy twist at the ankles, a very sharp impact at the knees and at the wrist, and hyperextension and lack of mobility in the elbows and the shoulders are, what I think are some of the more common ways that you'll get injuries in those joints. And in the hips, probably just a lack of movement in the hips cause the most general kind of injuries that I've seen throughout people that I've worked with, that I've trained, that I've met. And if you want to get some training on your own, follow the stuff in the description. Also follow my Instagram. That's a really good way to support the channel, along with leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. I finish off today with some hand balancing and some head balancing. Now, I've been doing a lot of stretching off camera. I've been saying that this past kind of week. I've been doing a lot of shoulder stretches off camera. against the wall, building up some shoulder mobility, some back mobility, and a little bit of some ground flow, like Cadorziani would suggest, like some Zanimal movements. You should check out Cadorziani. He has some really good ideas on how to use the floor to develop some joints and to develop the fascia, because he's self-proclaimed a fascia-based athlete. And I hope you had a really good day, took some time to move and improve, ate healthily, made some healthy choices, in all sorts of sense of the words. This is all the training I really did today. And yeah, hope you take care of yourself, and take care of others, and enjoy this kind of neck training that I did. So see ya in the next video next time.